Oh, hey, I did notice you there. When it comes to Nintendo Directs, whether it's a partner direct or any direct or a regular direct or a mini, they always seem to leave the internet in an uproar or disappointed or mad. And I always say there's a couple things that you can guarantee when a direct is announced and it's through. People are either gonna have very high expectations or unrealistic expectations, or people are gonna be disappointed by the end of it because they didn't see that certain game that they wanted to see, or a game they felt was a big heavy hitter. Or three, people are gonna enjoy it, but then there are gonna be people that wonder why they enjoy it. And I'm here today to kind of talk about how I feel about Nintendo Directs and Nintendo Partner Directs and how I felt about this Direct, because I'll let you know right off the bat, I thought it was pretty cool, but I have my reasons for thinking that. Do I want every game that's there? No, but I think we got to start looking at these directs, whether it's this, Xbox, Sony. I think we got to start looking at them from a different lens and not just, it ain't have what I want, because that one person, you don't represent all of gaming. I think there are a lot of reasons that we don't like to talk about, or we don't talk about, for why people don't like them, or they don't want to admit it. And it's not always because the games that they showed were trash. Sometimes it's because of you, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I'll explain that a little bit later. But also I want to talk about in this video what I did like. But first and foremost, I appreciate everyone that got me to 1,000 subscribers. But I appreciate y'all. I want to keep on bringing out good content. So let me know what kind of discussions y'all want to have, what y'all want to talk about, because it's been a fun journey on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Now it's time to get to YouTube Partner, and I hope I can get there with y'all help. But let's get into it. My first question to y'all is, was this Nintendo Direct bad? And in my opinion, I want to say no. Here's how I felt about this Direct. There were a bunch of games that felt like what gaming felt like back in the GameCube, the PlayStation 2, the Xbox era. And I'm not talking about the way they look. They look like games that had creativity, games that tried something, games that were different. They were creative. And that's a feeling I feel like a lot of people miss in gaming. I also feel like that's a thing that people ask for a lot. People really, I'm tired of playing the same old things. I want something new. But every time we see something that's not of the norm or something that we're not used to, we tend to shun it or say it's bad. With this being in a partner direct, I think people had expectations for a lot of big name games. And I can't say that 2022 partner direct was cool. But even then, people were mad at that because they didn't see certain Nintendo games, they didn't see certain games they wanted. And people were saying that was bad, but now I'm seeing today that people say that was the best partner direct. It's funny what happens when time flies. But I say that to say that when it comes to a partner direct, why do we have these expectations for something that Nintendo is gonna give us when this is focused on games that companies that's not Nintendo are making? It's literally called a partner direct. Yet I see a lot of things talking about how bad Nintendo is. Nintendo always this, but it wasn't Nintendo. It was literally them saying, hey, these are our relationships. We're working with these companies. And that's a big difference between the past generations. That was something that Nintendo was always ridiculed about not having third-party partners and third-party support. And this has been a system that's had the most third-party support ever. And this direct showed that, because off the bat, they started with Grounded, and that's a whole Microsoft game. And we know about the drama that brought a couple of weeks ago. Everybody was kind of upset about that. So I asked this question, what makes a direct bad? And I think people, I want to say, when you don't show something that I think is cool, it's a bad direct. Not because the games are bad, the games are trash, but it's because the games you think are quality are not shown. And I think games shown here were very diverse, a bunch of good ideas, a mix of different things. We had indie games, we had old 3DS games, we had old Wii games. We had games that we've been asking for. We have games that's been remade from the ground up. We had, like, it was a lot of things for everyone there. You just had to pick something. But what makes it bad is because it's just, they don't interest you. I don't believe that makes the direct bad or mid or whatever you want to call it. It's just not for you. And I understand this was a regular direct, but tell me what you expect from a partner direct from other companies. When I go into these directs, I just look at it as these are some games to supplement the Nintendo first party games. And we're coming to an end of an era with the Switch. The fact that a lot of these games are coming is, to me, is still a big deal, because that's still a lot of things that we got to play. I think the problem is, it's true that we like what we like, and I have no problem with that. I understand we have our preferences, but I think that it also limits us to exploring new games. And when you see a bunch of games that you're not used to seeing, you see a bunch of genres that you usually don't play, you automatically say that this is not good, this is trash, this is mid. When honestly, it's really that you just don't know about it. You don't know what that game is. You don't know if that'll be good for you because you never played it. And I think that some of our favorite games that we had to explore and discover them, right? We had to discover them for the first time. I know people say, I just know it's not for me. But you don't know that until you play it. I also understand that games cost. So who wants to spend money on something that they may not like? But that's just the risk in gaming these days, and period. But I know growing up, there were games that I looked at and said, what is this? This is trash. I would never play this. And then I actually took a chance. I'm like, dang, now this is one of my favorite games of all time. For example, farming simulators, games like Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon. Those were games that I never thought I would ever play. People talked about me for even being interested in those games because what black man is playing a farming sim, a cozy game? But then I got into it and I started playing like, wow, this game is pretty good. I really do think we tend to see when these directs have a bunch of games that we don't like, not that we don't like, but games that don't cater our taste specifically, we call the whole thing bad. Not realizing that there are other gamers in the world that enjoyed almost everything that was on this list, or there was a couple of games on this list that they loved. Because gaming is diverse. We are a bunch of diverse gamers. So just because the whole direct didn't have everything that you want, or there wasn't things for you, that doesn't make it bad. It just means it wasn't for you. It's time for you to either play something else or look forward to other things, or actually look into these games and actually research and see, maybe I would like this. Because truth be told, this direct wasn't bad, it wasn't trash. I just think it wasn't for a lot of people. And again, if you think it was trash, you think it was bad, tell me why it was bad in the comment section. What makes it bad? Without saying it's because of something that you like. Because let's truth be told, the games that were announced were pretty cool. Now, some of these games may have been games that have been already announced, so that would make a direct bad because you don't want to hear something you already know about. But a lot of these games got dates that we didn't know about. Or some of these may be ports, and like who asked for that, but a lot of these ports or remakes are actually like full-on remakes and games that came out like 2007, 2014, like games that people don't have access to. The 3DS shop is closed. So some games like Monster Hunter Stories, like the second game is on a lot of places, but that first game was stuck on the 3DS. And now we're getting that, but it's an enhanced version with voice acting, more things, and more content. So that's a W. As well as games like Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. That's a whole nother 80 hours of gameplay on top of a game we already had. So that's a different thing for me as well. There were some indie games thrown in here, and people always disrespect indie games. And I think that's it's for me, it's funny because I always see people, we should love indie games, blah, blah. Indie games are the truth. And Nintendo tends to show off and show love to a lot of indie games. But instead of getting credit for that, they're adding into this is mid, this is trash because they showed that. And these indie games that they showed, things like Arranger or Role Playing Adventure, like they were new, they were creative. And again, this goes to the things, you never played anything like this, so how you know it's not for you? But that's because we're looking for things that we're used to when this is the opportunity for partners to showcase games that they've been working on. So me and Harry, I just don't think these directs are bad. They just aren't our taste. And there's a difference between something being mid and bad versus it being, it's not for me. And that's the point I want to get across. And I don't think I'm wrong on that, but you can feel different about that because it is your opinion, it's my opinion. Just let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. In saying all that, let me tell you about a few games that I was excited for that made me feel like this was a direct that was cool. Like it showed me just enough to be happy that we got some games coming out. Now, one thing I will be mad at, but I understand, I think I'd understand, is that they showed Mother 3 coming to the Switch, but only in Japan. I know I ain't the only one mad at that. Reggie, I see you. There was also a game called Ray Natus that looked like a damn Final Fantasy 15 game that never came out, but it's on Japanese only. I'm hurt. But real quick, Ender Lilies was a dope Metroidvania, and Ender Magnolia looks just as good, and that's an indie game that I think people are really sleeping on, and I want folks to look at that game. So that's one I was impressed by. Monster Hunter Stories, for me, this is a big thing because this is a game that was on the 3DS. It's a game that was stuck there. We have Monster Hunter Stories too, so being able to see Monster Hunter Stories, the original, come here and not be stuck on the 3DS is dope. Speaking on the games, like Epic Mickey, and I'm not really playing a lot of Disney stuff right now, but Epic Mickey in 2010 on the Wii was a great game. Like, it was a game I did not expect to like as a kid. And this is me being like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is the one. And I was like, if it ain't Kingdom Hearts, I don't want it. But Disney Epic Mickey was a good game, and being remade from the ground up with rebrushed is gonna be dope. Penny's Big Breakaway released the same day they talked about it, and that's like the same team behind Sonic Mania. So you know it's gonna be a good game, and it gives me those old school 3D Sonic vibes. Pepper Grinder is another one that's like, reminds me of the Game Boy Advance game Drill Doze, if you ever played that. Devolver Digital always got a bunch of dope games coming out, and I think Pepper Grinder is gonna be pretty cool. Hear me out on Pocket Card Jockey. I had this on the 3DS, and it was definitely a good game. I know it's very interesting. It's a solitaire and horse racing game, but it's very fun. And it being remade by Game Freak, I think it's one worth looking at. Y'all already know I'm excited for Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time. Fantasy Life was one of my favorite 3DS games. And now that they have some new classes, you can actually play multiplayer with people. I'm looking forward to Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time. And I really want to play that with the homies. And I want to see how they evolve the series. And another level 5 game I'm just happy to see. And I'll say this about Endless Ocean Luminous. A lot of people were very, very skeptical about this game closing out the direct, but I think a lot of people don't know how much that game meant to a lot of people, and especially the sequel. This game was on the Wii a long time ago, and it's different. I know this ain't the game that you usually used to seeing close off a game, but I think it is a big game. And if you don't know what Endless Ocean is, it's an open sea exploration game where and this one has up to 30 players can explore the waters of our planet. And you can play by yourself too, but it's a bunch of different species of marine life to discover. It's a chill game, but it was a big chill game. I saw so many people get happy about this game, and that's what I like about Directs, when games that a lot of people, the popular games, we know about the Elden Rings, you know things about that, but there are games that have faithful communities, games that were big, but a lot of people don't talk about. And Endless Ocean was a game that's loved by a lot of people. And when I see people that knows about games like that, it makes me happy to see people excited for things like that. And I'm excited for this game because it's different. Like I said, this direct felt like a direct with that creativity that a lot of people ask for, that creativity that we used to have back in the old generations. And Endless Ocean Luminous, it looks like a game that might not be for everyone, but I really think it would be a dope experience for folks to try out. And I'm actually excited for this one. I think it's gonna be a vibe. But that's all for me. That's the games that I'm excited for. That's how I feel about Directs. I do think it was a good Direct. I think it was an efficient partner Direct. The Switch is on year 7 of its life cycle, and to see that they have partners, that they still have third-party support, to me is a good thing. And to see so many games still coming this year that we can play of different genres, to me that is a good thing, and that's what makes this Direct okay to me. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever. I don't think it's the best thing we've ever seen. But I don't think it's trash. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's mid. I think we're gonna need another word than mid. I just think it does what it's supposed to do. It shows games. It's a showcase of games that's coming to the Switch. And every game's not gonna be your cup of tea, especially when all of these games are from different companies. So I don't know what y'all expecting, but it's also your opinion. You like what you like, and I respect that. So let me know how you feel in the comment section about this Direct. Let me know if there's some games in here you are excited for, some games you don't quite understand, or you want me to, I can talk to you about it. Let me know if you have any questions about any of these games on this list, but also just let me know how you feel about the Directs in general and what you're gonna be playing. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all take care of yourselves, and remember to have fun, play what you like, and let others play what they like too. Gaming is about the experience, gaming is about the fun. So go out and have fun. Don't go out here and make all these arguments and all this dumb stuff. Just play games and enjoy them. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.